Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another StarCraft Brood War Remastered game. Found this one on Team Liquid. It is part of the Twitch Holiday Bash, which was held in December of 2017 on Day 9's Twitch stream. Participants included Draco, Nony, Whiteraw, Artosis, Kawaii Rice, In Control, Jaeyung, and Sheth. So basically pretty American-centric there. You had Whiteraw from Ukraine and Draco from... Holy smokes, what is that flag? I can see the flag. It's white on top and red on the bottom. I don't know what it is. I wish I knew what it was, but I don't. Anyway, regardless, this is part of the Twitch Holiday Bash. Good times, actually. Good times had by everybody there. There was money to be had. There was a lot of fun to be had. There were free-for-alls and stuff. But this is one of the games played as part of a regular tournament involving everybody. I'm not going to tell you who won the whole thing, but this is one of the games that is a PvZ between Nony and Jaeyung here on Fighting Spirit. Now, Nony might be the more famous of the two players. Been around for a very long time in the Brood War scene. He's in the top left here, the yellow Protoss player. He dates back to early 2000s. He's 32 years old right now, so he wasn't quite involved in the Brood War when it first came out, but very consistent American Protoss player. Won some money. Very popular, part of the Team Liquid team as well. In the bottom right here, we have the Teal Zerg. Whoa, his hatchery looks like it's lava. It's lava. Anyway, Jaeyung is a Zerg player who is also American and played kind of on and off there, won some stuff too, retired in 2012, but is more known for his Twitch streams. He streams on Twitch. I'll put a link to that in the description. If I forget to, please remind me, and I'll put it in there as soon as I can. But anyway, a really great Zerg player, very fun personality. You can't be a successful Twitch streamer if you don't have a good personality, I believe is how that works. Anyway, ZVP here for you today on the channel from the Twitch Holiday Bash, held December 18th to the 20th on 2017. All right, so this is a fairly newer game. This is a newer version of the StarCraft. Oh, this might have actually been played in the Remastered client. Right? Because Remastered came out last year and stuff. Yes, it did. All right, regardless, what's going on? Got a probe scouting here into the Zerg base. Already has a spawning pool. Already has an expansion on the way here, too. That was a pool first play, so we might see some lings popping out. And, in fact, we do have some Zerglings. I love that it says that. This is a Zergling. Trying to pop on out here. Throwing up his cannon is Nony. He's done this a million times before. He knows how to wall off on Fighting Spirit with a cannon to protect his expansion. So he's got a gateway. He's got a forge. He's going to toss up a single cannon and then assume he's going to get his Nexus next of all as soon as he has enough money to do so, which he does not. So he's saving up them minerals. As usual, it's time for the early game zoom out. Time for the zoom out. Oh, got an early zealot out. Couple zealots out here. A couple zealots out on that gateway. First of all, I thought that cannon seemed a little bit delayed, but that's because he's gatewayed into zealots. He wants to be the pressurer, is what he wants to do. So he's like, all right, let's do this thing. You don't want to engage? If you want to engage, I'll kill you. That's fine, but if you don't want to engage, I'm going to run onto your base and start killing your drones. How's that sound? Bad, says Jaeyung. Absolutely bad. I'm going to make some Zerglings of my own. How does that sound? Fine, says Nony. I'll force you to do stuff. Possibly going after this third base here that Jaeyung is tossing up a little bit prematurely, very possibly here. How many lings does he have? That's a good number. That's a good number of them. Did he lose one? It looks like he lost one based on the fact that he has 9 instead of the 10. Should have an even number of lings unless somebody died. So 10 lings versus 2 zealots. Oh, 3 zealots now, though. This gets a little bit more dicey. Here comes the surround. Who's going to win this thing? The zealots are being microed pretty well. Yes, several Zerglings die there. One of the zealots goes down, but the remaining lings don't really want to engage right now. The probe is dead, which is a problem for Nony. It was providing some DPS. More lings are forced to be made. The zealots deciding, all right, we'll stay here. We'll go back to back, brother. You and me against the onslaught of the Zerg. Only one of them can attack us at once. I love these lings. They're kept back here. Jaeyung can't be aggressive with them. Oh, unless he wants to be aggressive with them, but that means his hatchery gets hit some more. This is some great aggression out of Nony. I like it very much. He is forcing a lot of stuff to happen here from Jaeyung that Jaeyung does not want to do. All right, zealots, get back. Get back in. Oh, no, getting hit on 2 sides at the same time. Everybody is getting hit on 2 sides at the same time, but it's better than the alternative here. Look at these guys go. That did have several kills, 3 kills on him before he dies. That seems to be enough. And the hatchery has taken some damage too, so it might be a snipeable target for Nony later. Maynarding down his workers to the natural base. He's got his cannon up. He has a Zealot holding the line. He's got another cannon in production. Yes, 2 cannons. He saw the number of lings he forced Jaeyung to make. He knows there's a lot of lings out there on the field, and if they're not attacking, they're not really doing much, and Jaeyung doesn't want to have useless units. So he's just going to sit here, just kind of hang out, kind of keep some map control, see if Nony's going to move out with anything else, and he's not. He is not. Stargate opening here with the Corsairs. Somebody made the great point on one of my last casts that Corsairs are not necessarily just about killing Mutalisks. They're also good at sniping Overlords. A group of them can dive bomb in, kill a couple Overlords, and supply block your Zerg opponent in the mid-game, which can be a really nice advantage to have, slowing down the Zerg economy, slowing down the Zerg macro, and giving you an advantage in that mid-game and towards the late game. So that's another good use for them. It's not like if your opponent doesn't make any mutas, they're useless, I guess is the point that that commentator was trying to make. So I'm always looking for little insights like that, little ways to learn the Brood War a little bit better. Again, I watched a lot of it. I watched a lot of the Brood War replays. I didn't watch a lot of the casting, though. I didn't have much English casting available to me. So the analysis stuff, obviously, I'm a little bit weak on. There have been a lot of comments pointing that out, too. But I'm learning, thanks to the people who do take the time to sit down and tell me little stuff like that. I'm also planning on spending some time watching some of the Day 9 Learn Brood War series that he put out. Just because I like Day 9. I like him a lot. That's really one of the ways that I learned StarCraft, too, as well as I did, was watching him. So it makes sense to watch him and learn the Brood War, too. That is a Spire on the way from Jaeyung. We'll see if it's going to be Mutalisks or we'll see if it's going to be Scourge. The Scourge are going to be the answer to the Corsairs, bar none. Zealot leg enhancements on the way from the Nony. Are you double expanding, Jaeyung? Or are these just macro hatches? They're just macro hatches, is what they are. Yep, macro hatch at the natural base, macro hatch at the third base. Corsair comes just, again, dive bombing, just right on in. Like the Corsair pilot owns the joint. Is there anything here at all? Nope, but there's Scourge probably popping out soon because that Spire is done, so I'm going to get out. I'm going to get out of here. I do have +1 armor, but those Scourge hurt. The little suicide bomb attack hurts quite a lot. And just get a full scout off on everything that Jaeyung is trying to do. Sees the Hydralisk Den, sees the lair, obviously. And the Spire sees the third base has been saturated pretty well here, and that there's no gas at the third base yet. So it doesn't look like any kind of a crazy Overlord on Muta. Jaeyung's going to keep macroing up, get some upgrades, get a creep colony or 2, and try to prevent this third base. Yes, does prevent the third base from Nony with a single Zergling. Just a single Zergling up there. Don't mind me. You can't do anything about me because you can't come out the front door, and the Corsairs can't touch me because they can't hit the ground. Storm being researched by Nony is just impeccable. Imperative. It is imperative that you get Storm against Zerg if you're Protoss. You need some kind of splash. Reavers are fine, Archons are fine, but Storm is really the key here. It really is. There's our huge zoom out. Zealots thinking about attacking the third. They decide not to, and instead going to march on up to the natural base, where there is a sunken. Oop, there are almost 2 sunkens. There's 1 sunken, another one on the way, and Ling's trying to hold this thing. Are there any? There's just Zerglings in production here. Interestingly enough, what are the upgrades on these guys? They got the +1 attack to the Zealots, and they have the legs upgrade too. So these are very scary Zealots. For this point in the game, get that surround. They're trying to get the surround. Oh, there are 2 sunkens here? Yeah, the Zealots decide, okay, 2 sunkens, plus who knows what is going to pop out of those eggs. And we're getting surrounded, which seems real bad for us. But at the same time, holding this ramp pretty darn well are the Zealots. They're like the 300 guys. Couple Zealots against a million Zerglings. We'll hold off as long as we can, but we are absolutely going to die. We're just trying to take as many Zerglings with us as possible, because every Zergling that dies is one that Jaeyung's going to consider replacing. And replacing Zerglings takes drones. Takes away from drones by taking larva, right? Larva is a finite resource for Zerg. Oh, the third base. No, Nony. Why? The Lings don't even really care. Like, hey, Zealot, you want to kill us? That seems to... Oh, just kidding. Maybe it's not totally fine. Actually, the Zealot might be able to hold this thing. Probe, trying to... He's alive. Probe's alive. Getting chased by these Lings, though. More Zealots coming back home. And you know what? Zealot held it long enough for his buddies to get there and save that third base. That was it. That was the goal. Goal successful. Protoss player Nony. Storm is done. Going for the robotics facility, getting some High Templar, working on Dragoon range, working on +2 attack for his ground units. Got all of the upgrades he could ever want. Now, Jaeyung really has lost 0 drones, I want to say, in this game. Haven't seen any die. I'm pretty sure he hasn't had to pull the drones to defend against anything yet. Right. Absolutely has not had to do that. And so far, so good, I'd say, for him. He is making some mutas at this stage in the game, about 10 minutes in. He's got... Oh, how many has he made? I forgot I don't get a units tab. I just get a production tab. I mean, it's fine. Oh, shoot. I forgot that U doesn't do that. U speeds up. Are we sped up? How fast are these mutas? Does that seem slow? No, that's too fast. That's good. This is good. This is good muta speed. Woof, 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 woof. They flap their wings a little bit slow for how fast they move, and it's kind of weird. Yeah, that's Dragoon speed. That's High Templar speed. Okay, we are back. Yeah, I always forget that U speeds it up because it's plus and minus in StarCraft 2. So, very different. So the mutas are going to try to do some things here. Corsair production has re-initiated for the Nony, but still 3 base to 3 base is a pretty good place to be if you happen to be a Protoss player playing against the Jaeyung. All right, trying to sneak on in here are the mutas. There are a couple cannons in pretty good positions. Yeah, look at this. Look at this cannon fire. A couple probes might die, but again, it buys time for the Corsairs to come in and get some splash damage off. Good splash damage. Trying to get the Corsairs, but Dragoon plus... I don't know about this. That actually... I don't know if that Scourge exploded. I think the Scourge got killed before it could explode on that Corsair. That was pretty good stuff. Pretty good micro. Indeed, from the Nony. So it is 124 to 105 total supply. Again, in general, the Zerg is not going to have a huge army. It's just not how this works. 300 APM for Jaeyung, about 200 for Nony at this stage in time. Queen's Nest on the way from Jaeyung, going to be used to go to the Hive. The Hive Tech is where the Zerg player wants to be, especially against his hated Protoss opponent. Going to get those Defilers, going to get that Dark Swarm. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great time had by the Protoss units. All right. Mutas, I just don't think there's really anywhere to get in here, man. There's 3 Dragoons and 2 cannons, and the Corsairs are here. Yeah, just go somewhere else. Go somewhere else for some time. I actually got rid of this whole sidebar. How'd I do that? Must be a hotkey I pressed on accident while I was flailing about trying to get the speed to come back up again. Or down. Come back down. Again, 4th base is done on the right side here for Jaeyung. 4th base warping in for Nony. Up on the north. If you are racist, I shall attack you with the north. Yep. That's a quote. Name that TV show. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Boom, 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 boom. Observer flying on in to see what's up. And guess what? It's lurkers, because of course it's lurkers. Ooh, suicides, though. That's not very good. So 5 lurkers in production at once for Jaeyung right here. So these eggs, those eggs are going to be lurkers. Nothing else. Can't really build eggs out in the middle of the map unless it's a lurker egg. Working on missile attacks, working on carapace. He's got Muta. He's got Hydra. He's got lurker. He suddenly has a very big, scary Zerg army, I would say. But Corsairs are out. Storm is here. Dragoons ready to go. The problem with Dragoons is they're not great if Dark Swarm is available, but guess what? Jaeyung doesn't have that yet. His Hive is not even done yet. There's the Storm. Hydra is kind of eating a lot of that Storm. And another good shot there. Lot 2, 3, 4 of the Hydra is getting taken down. Corsair oversteps his bounds a little bit, is killed by a bunch of Hydralisks and Mutas. More and more Storm going on. We're trying to get the whole battle into the picture here. Where are these? These probes are trying to transfer in the fight. The Storm use is really, really good. The Lurkers are not as good without the Dark Swarm protection here. Dragoons really doing well for themselves. Hitting from distance. Oh, but guess what? Their detection is gone. The detection is gone. He was storming the Lurkers to kill them, but wasn't target firing them because he doesn't have any observers in this fight. Where are the rest of your observers? Had the observatory, obviously, because he had an observer previously that he kind of suicided in a little bit carelessly. That's the thing, man. One little thing in Brood War can really hurt you a lot. Although I also have heard Brood War explained as a game wherein the player who makes the fewest mistakes wins, compared to StarCraft 2, which is often described as a game where the player who makes the first mistake loses. They were talking about that at the StarCraft 20 Twitch stream, the 20-year celebration last month. I believe it was in March, maybe early April. Can't remember exactly when it was, but that's how they described Brood War. It's just, it's so hard to play and so hard to control accurately and correctly in all situations that they describe it as whoever makes the fewest mistakes over the course of a 20-minute game is your winner, because everyone's making mistakes constantly, because you can only control 12 units at a time, you guys. 12 at a time, and look how many units are on this battle right now. How do you do this? How do you control them all going to the right places? Dragoons are derpy. I love this push from Nony. He's crushing a lot of these lurkers, but from the south, here come the Zerglings. Right on top of those Dragoons. That exactly is what you want. What you want if you happen to be the Zerg player. Oh, getting some lurkers burrowed into position up north too. Lings just endlessly streaming from the south. Storm trying to kill these guys, not working out super well. High Templar does manage to escape the wrath of the Zerglings and turn himself into an Archon. Wait, maybe he does? Maybe he does. You got to kill those Lings before the Archon dies. Oh, no, Archon, why? Is he going to finish in time? He does finish in time, but then he gets chased down. Oh, he escapes. He escapes with like 5 shields. That was amazing. Archons, so good against Lurkers. They don't take any bonus damage against them. Versus them. And yes, Nony responding with some Zealots to deal with the incoming Ling harassment. I love it so much. Zealots are pretty good in this situation. Nice Storm catching a big group of Zealots there. The Micro perhaps not as good on these Lings as you would like to see, but does pick up a High Templar, so that'll show me to say that sort of thing. 129 to 67 total supply. This is a battle that's been going on for quite a while, but Nony seems to have the lead. If I had to say anything about it, he really should kill this 4th base if he's able to do so. And you know what? I think he is. There's a handful of Lings down here. There's a Lurker in production. Consumes on the way from Jaeyung. He has not lost his focus on where he needs to be to win this game. He's got Defilers on the way. Again, that consume ability allows the Defilers to eat Zerglings and regain energy. Actually, you can eat anything. If you want to eat an Ultralisk as a Defiler and gain an additional energy, you can do that. It's not really recommended, though. Actually, it's not recommended at all. You want to use Lings because they're cheap. They are cheap. Scourge flying in. Goodbye, Corsair. Was that the last of the Corsair? Oh, that might be interesting. If Jaeyung can get up to Mutalisk. And there's your Consume. See on the Lings, there's your Dark Swarm. Perhaps a little bit prematurely here. Is he even covering any Lurkers with that? It doesn't look like he's covering any Lurkers with the Dark Swarm. The second one comes in, though, and that is covering the Dark Swarm. And Nony, as he is largely Dragoon right now, it's not that great. Zealots and Archons don't care about the Dark Swarm because they have a close enough range that they can finish off stuff even inside the Dark Swarm. All it does is prevent ranged attacks from hitting these guys. And yeah, the attack coming on in. There's your Dark Swarm again, burrowing in with the Lurkers. Lings staying inside the Dark Swarm, but there are Zealots inside your 4th base location, Jaeyung. You're in trouble, man. It's 182 to 101 total supply. What? What is going on right now? I don't know, but this end game strategy that Jaeyung's going for is working pretty darn well for him. He was able to handle the attack on his 4th. The Zealots weren't able to finish out that particular base. Why has he been sending the Dragoons in? Don't send the Dragoons in, Nony. You're better than this. You've been playing StarCraft for a very long time now. You should know not to engage with Lurkers under Dark Swarm if you have the Dragoons. You just shouldn't. You shouldn't do it. All right, so the Archons are here. Reavers are coming in. Robotics facility. Another robotics facility in production for the Nony. Cannons here too. Got a Scarab damage increase. Oh, that upgrades the Scarab damage by 25. So it's 100 damage per shot on those Scarabs from the Reavers. But with that particular upgrade, it does 125 damage per shot, which is actually pretty good against Zerglings, especially considering its splash. If that's what you're using it for, Hydra's too. Hydra's taking that extra damage is great, but Jaeyung's expanded the bottom left-hand corner. He hasn't lost a base yet, and Nony's expanded the top right. And yes, this as well. We saw that transfer happening. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total bases for Nony. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total bases for Jaeyung. That is a bit of a problem. 6 base now coming up for Jaeyung. It's not quite done. Nony needs to be aggressive. I know he's kind of waiting. I don't know what he's waiting for. Perhaps he's waiting for the Reavers to come in here. Generally, you'll see them in shuttles just because they move so slowly. That is how they're balanced, right? They do crazy amounts of ground splash damage, and if they were fast, they'd be impossible to handle. But they're slow, so it's not as big of a deal here. Dark Swarm is up. I think there's a number of Zealots here, but that's a lot of Lurker. That is a lot of Lurker able to burrow there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I am saying. So pulling back a little bit is Jaeyung. He's got his Nidus Canal connecting his natural base with probably, yeah, his bottom left base here. But a small attack coming in with Archons and Zealots. The shuttles here with the Reaver lifting as necessary, getting right on top of those Lurkers. The detection is available. The Zealots are available. Zealots dying pretty quickly to these guys, actually. I mean, they can hit the Lurkers. It doesn't mean they're exactly a great answer against the Lurkers. Enough Lings do come in to shove back the Reaver, to shove back the Dragoons, and look at these guys just trying to hit Lurkers that are covered by Dark Swarm. It's not great. Nony recognizes what's going on and pulls back. High Templar trying to sneak on in. Oh, the Plague! A Plague! Ooh! Thrown down on Dragoons. So darn annoying here. Reaver from distance says, the splash damage will hurt ya. Just like siege tanks, splash damage will hurt stuff in here. He's got to toss another one out. There we go. Bam! Big time hit. Look how almost dead that lurker is. Almost dead. And 2 scarabs. 2 scarabs take it down. Defiler does another plague on these units, hurting them quite immensely. Coming down from the north side are some reinforcements here. Nony really, really wants to take this thing down, if at all possible. Zerglings coming, either they're being hatched here or they're nidusing here, one of the two. But Zerglings are the answer, I feel like, especially with injured Dragoons thanks to the plague. Not a high number of Zealots. Storm is available, though, and look at those Lings die. Look at them die. Storm also not bothered by Dark Swarm. But Lings coming over from this direction, too. Is it going to be enough? Some Dragoons are going to fall here. These Lings are pretty darn dangerous, as it turns out. Are they Cracklings? What's their attack speed look like? Hard to know. Hard to know. Zealots need to finish off. Okay, the Defiler does go down, I think, to a Reaver shot. Lurkers. No, the Lurker takes out the Reaver. Again, this is so hard to control, you guys. It is so difficult to control, but the Defiler's gone. And these bases are in a lot of trouble. Another storm the Lings almost willingly run through. Several of them do, but not all of them go down. The Lurkers trying to get target fired by these Dragoons, not taking extra damage. But still, this continued defense here from Jaeyung. He's just sending in streams and streams of units. I think he's going to save this. I think he's going to save this hatch based on this minimap where the Zerglings just continue to pour on in here. Do they have the adrenal glands upgrade? I don't know. I need to see them attack something first. Can you guys attack something for me? Real quick. No. No, because Nony has fled. So both players floating quite a bit of money here at the 22-minute mark. It is 183 to 135 total supply. Nony is basically maxed out, so his sin of floating 5,000, 4,000 is a little bit less of a problem. Again, these guys are back. They're back for the Holiday Bash. They're not really up to speed at a competitive level. Again, Jaeyung retired officially in 2012, so these guys, again. Nony's actually switched over to the Wings of Liberty. When that came out, got invited to the beta, immediately hopped in. Actually changed his name to Tyler when Wings of Liberty was released, which is his name, actually. Are we going to take all the bases on this map? Have we seen this before on a Fighting Spirit cast that I've done? I've done a lot of these. And I just don't know if we've seen every single base taken, I guess with the exception of the middle one, which is impossible to hold. I mean, I've seen people try to take this thing, but it lasts about 45 seconds before it dies. Just because, again, it's so easily accessible from both of the players. You can set up units to shell this thing. To shell this mineral line from the backside here. The top and the bottom are way open. It's rough. It is rough. All right, big picture time here. Lot of bases. Lot of bases from Nony. Lot of Zerg bases on the south. And the left side here, too. He makes a hatch, but look at this incoming Protoss army. But from the backside, can it be saved? Oh, Dark Templar in the mix. Again, Overlords are all detectors. And so Dark Templar not as good in most situations in Brood War. Still, can make them work if you're a skilled Protoss player, as the Nony is. So Lurker, Ling, Overlord here trying to protect this left-hand side. Is that Flyer Carapace? It is. And Anabolic Synthesis for faster Ultralisk movement from Jaeyung. Zerglings trying to get in there, but Archons just eat them. Archons eat Zerglings for breakfast. Just blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's the drop! It is the drop with the Dark Swarm. Got the Hydras, got the Lings. Defending Reavers, though, pretty good. Wow, big time hits. No, Hydra's trying to split. One of them does survive thanks to the split, but everything else is dead here. Nope, there's a Ling. I can hear it. Now they're dead? Now they're dead, but there's a single Hydra up there trying to do some stuff. It's such a great animation. It really is. Counterattack from Nony. He says, all right, that's enough. That is enough shenanigans from you, the Jaeyung. Gonna come in with my DTs, with my Zealots, and my High Templar, trying to storm them Mutas. Oh, the Mutas ate most of that storm. They are so hurt right now. Another storm finishing them off. But there's another group of Muta here. Pretty scary stuff, except for the Archons. Archons real good in this situation. The Archon Storm combination just absolutely obliterates those Mutalisks. Again, DTs are melee, which means Dark Swarm doesn't affect them at all. Trying to get rid of the, trying to push the Overlords away so the DTs are a little bit more effective here. He set up a bit of a siege as the Nony, trying to come into this base, but there are just too many Lurkers. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Lurkers. One of them does go down. Zerglings again, defensive, desperate Zerglings trying to come on in here, forcing a lift on that Reaver. Archon. Oh, gets taken down at the last second. But ate so many of those Zerglings. The Reaver count's a little bit scary at the front. Muta's trying to pick them off. Does get one and might get two depending. Oh, this one's actually undefended. Will get two. Depending on the Archon defending positioning here. And the Archons do manage to shove these Mutas away. That splash damage the Archons do is really damaging against Mutas because they stack up so easily. And intentionally, really. Jaeyung is trying to stack them up here because they're just more effective when they can kind of hit single targets like this in a kiting position. Another Reaver goes down. More Mutas are here from Jaeyung. Look at him go Muta, man. Getting upgrades for the Mutas too. Getting Guardians. We are seeing Guardians out of the Jaeyung. Archon's trying to push up the front. Reaver knows, they know they're dead. Reavers are just like, can we just kill some stuff before we die? Blah, one goes down. Archon's splashing. Brar, brar, brar. That's the sound they make when they attack. Can you hear it? Listen. Attack, guys. No, you're not really allowed to attack. Reavers keep dying, though. That's the problem. Archons are not fast, but guess who's here? Broodlord. Not Broodlords. Guardians. Dang it. I promised myself I wouldn't do that, but I caught it at the very, very instant that it happened. Guardians. My favorite unit from Brood War. I used to try to make these every game as Zerg, because I was like, dude, they can fly. They have the range of a siege tank. They hit really hard. What's not to like about these units? And then they'd all get stormed by Protoss, and I'd be like, oh. Right. 172 to 198 total supply. Nony is maxed out. Broodlord saying, hey, middle base. Look, remember what I said about middle base being up for 45 seconds? Sometimes it's less than that. Sometimes you can't even get the base up before it gets killed. Overlords. Are these the drop lords? They're all drop lords because you upgrade the carrying ability for all of them. All right, man. What's the answer to the Guardians here? Nony is working on Corsair. Working on Reavers. Dragoons are a pretty good answer here, too. Unless there's just a lot of Guardians, as there sort of are here. Look at... Okay, so a Guardian went down. That's not great. Dude, you gotta... Oh, another one went down. I'm saying you should have attacked that guy faster. Yeah, Zealots before a combined force of Guardian Hydralisk. Not going to go very well. Not going to go very well for them at all. I don't know why these probes are out here, but they're dying. Maybe Nony's trying to free up supply? Seems possible. It's possible, pig. Oh, no, not free High Templar. Not free High Templar. Get out of there, High Templar. Nice, storm. The thing that's good about storming Guardians is they're slow. See that? See them evaporate there? Yep, they can't dodge storms very well at all. They are ponderous. All right, Hydras are here. They're very scary. High Templar at the front. Getting target fired a little bit by these Hydras. DTs hacking on the Hydras, trying to save the DTs. Not working out very well for them. Hydras are blah, 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 blah. Getting glommed there. Some more Zerglings, more Hydras. This has been a very scrappy battle. This might not be Jaeyung, right? This may not be the Flash or the Bisu, but this is still some pretty fun, pretty entertaining stuff. 28 minutes in, you guys. That's what we're looking at. And here are the Ultras. Look at how fast they are with that anabolic synthesis upgrade. Mrar, mrar. I don't think Nony was ready for this. He's trying to make Reavers, which are pretty good against the Ultras, but they're not here yet. They are not here yet. An attempted attack on Jaeyung's left side base, which is his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th base, did not go well for Nony. Too many lurkers, man. Too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, plus a sunken colony. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Plus detection, too. Was that? Oh, okay. A Reaver hits, but then dies. That's what that was. That's a lot of Observer, too. Nony's recognized. I need a lot of Observer if I'm going to win this thing. Hey, the Reavers are setting up in position here. It's kind of giving Nony a chance to survive this onslaught. Ultras, I think, caught him by surprise. But now the Reaver count is 4 back here. Now they have +3 attack. Now they have the +25 upgrade, too. This is going to get a little bit ugly for these Ultras if they try to walk inside and just get up this ramp. Or up this ramp. Get across this bridge. Get across this bridge. It's not great. More Hydras coming to support. You can see the supply line coming from the right side. Shuttles coming in to help the Protoss army. But when you're in a defensive position like this, it's very hard to win a game. Who's expanding in the middle? Jaeyung! Jaeyung is expanding in the middle. Reaver shots on, I guess, some Zerglings that tried to get over there. I think that's what that was. All right. Is it time to go? Jaeyung gonna do this thing. Scourge trying to get them Corsairs. They're so fast, but Dragoons supporting will chase them away. It's a good siege we have set up here from Jaeyung. Look at this. Look at this siege. Trying to get it all in camera without going too far out or too far in. It's a stalemate, everyone. I wonder if they're chatting with each other. I mean, they're not chatting in game, but I think they were in the same place for this thing, this holiday bash on Day9's Twitch channel. Did he fly them in? I didn't watch this. I should have watched it. I did not watch it, but I don't know if he just had them playing over the internets or what. Could have been. I don't see anybody complaining about lag, though, necessarily. Corsair, again, dive bombing in, clearing out overlords, trying to kill the lurkers with a huge Reaver drop at the 7th base. Ultras joining the party, but Scarabs. Oh my gosh, the Scarab hits are so good. That Ultra is almost dead. Hatch goes down. Again, Reaver drops can be fairly devastating. And then the Guardians show up, and it's time to lift and go. He's trying to get one more shot off, but it's just not going to happen. So he lifts and goes. The Hydras can't quite reach the shuttles, partially because Ultras were in the way. And now it's time to go, says Nony. Everybody's out of position a little bit. Gonna Storm, gonna Archon in the front, gonna Dragoon, but from all sides comes the Zerg infestation. Guardians in the back, just shelling without remorse. Nobody stopping them, except the Corsairs. Oh, the Corsairs are here. Can the Corsairs finish off these Guardians? The answer is absolutely yes, especially with some Storm assistance on that High Templar. Thank you very much. Broodlord upgrades are good, though. Is that Snare? Was Jaeyung upgrading Snare? I mean, Nony won that battle, but guess who has the biggest supply lines of all time? It's Jaeyung. He's getting on top of the units. It is Queen. So he just threw down in Snare, making Reavers even slower, I suppose, making Shuttles slower too. I've not seen Queen play ever on the channel. But hey, apparently we got it. Somebody made fun of me, actually, in one of my previous casts for saying, oh, it's a Queen's Nest. I wonder where the queens are. And they laughed and said, ha ha ha, silly Falcon, nobody makes queens. But look at this. There's some queens. Kind of scary looking in Remastered. Oh, you can tell. Gotta get focused. Gotta focus on the game. Hydralisks, blah, 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 blah. And Snare actually reduces attack speed too, not just movement speed. So they're sluggish as they move, but it reduces their their attack speed. Which is great. Which is a great upgrade to have. 173 to 164 total supply. This has been a total slugfest from beginning to end here. What a ridiculously great ZVP. Hydras in the back, Lings in the front, Dragoons trying to do this thing. We're just going to mass and snare here on, I guess so. Oh, Broodling. Spawn Broodlings on one of the Dragoons. So Spawn Broodlings insta-kills a unit, a ground unit that is not robotic, and turns it into Broodlings that then attack the enemy. It's kind of amazing. And I wish it was used more often because it's really good. More Guardians morphing in here at the front. This has really been the battle for quite a while, you guys, this particular position. But it doesn't work against Reavers because they're robotic. It doesn't work against Archons because they're not human. They're not biological. They're psionic. It does work against High Templar and Dragoons. These are kind of your targets if you're going to use the Spawn Broodlings ability. That was my ultimate strategy, you guys, in the Brood War, was to get Guardians, Mutalisks, Devourers, which we haven't seen, I don't think, on the channel. No, we have. One of the games I cast a while ago had them. And then some Queens to spawn Broodlings, because the only thing that could beat me was my thinking was Storm. And so if you flew the Queens in and sniped out each of the High Templar and then moved in with your unstoppable Guardian, Mutalisk, Devourer army, you would win. And it was pretty effective. I'd say it was a pretty effective strategy in the level that I was playing. But sometimes your opponent has a million High Templar, and sometimes they're not just going to sit them in the front there and let the Queens pick them off from distance. So, it doesn't work out all the time is what I'm trying to say here. Storm on a couple Guardians. And they is dead. Man, you Guardians are trying to spread out here. This game, I cannot believe this is still going on. What are we, 30? We're 35 minutes. 35 minutes into this game. Some more mutas from Jaeyung. He's not afraid to use the muta here. Archon, dead. Guardian taking some shots. Hydra's just getting destroyed by Scarabs and Storm. That combination is absolutely deadly to Hydras. This unit's lost measurement at the end of the game is going to be absolutely crazy. Muta's pretty good here. There's one Archon and like 4 Dragoons, and some Corsairs. All right, and there's some Corsairs. Maybe these Mutas are not as good as they think they are, as Jaeyung possibly thinks they are, and as I think they are. But, I don't know, they're being annoying. Picking off a shuttle, they're picking off Reavers. Another Reaver goes down. Look at these Mutas go. This Muta micro by Jaeyung is great. It's really good. Is there any detection is the problem? I don't think Nony has detection here. I'm pretty convinced he doesn't have detection. So these lurkers are a major problem. Oh, the Zergling's trying to get in. Trying to get on top of the units and kill him. Single Dragoon might go down. No, absolutely not. Archon in the back. Brar, brar. Zealots coming up at the front say, bring it, Zerglings. Bring it. And then storming down the Mutas. Just for good measure. Just for good measure. That's all it was. Who? Lurkers trying to do their thing, but there is detection now. There is detection. All the lurkers die. Spawn Broodlings on the High Templar, as mentioned, but again, there are too many of them. Too many High Templar. Storm on the lurkers to finish them off, and I think Nony's broken out. He's breaking out. He's breaking out and has broken out. 146 to 143 supply. It's very close, and that's not great for Nony. If the Zerg player is as close to you in supply as you are in supply, I don't know. This is getting hard to solo cast, you guys. We are deep. We are deep into this game. Zealots, Archons, Dragoons. See this middle base? It's been up for more than 45 seconds, but it's gonna die. It's absolutely going to die. Muta's, I don't know, Muta Ling trying to save this base, but the Archons, if they surround this thing and just go brawl, 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 that's it. That's all there is to it here. Extractor down, Hatchery down. Our Templar killing them larva so darn quickly. And look at Nony trying to mine from this. Is he mined out? Nony's mined out. He needs this middle base real bad. Jaeyung just made a ton of ultras. Look at this go. Look at these ultras go. Yeah, I mean, Nony's in kind of... He's been surrounded a little bit. I think about zooming out is we don't get as many of the sounds. The sound is dependent upon the zooming. I don't know. We can still hear some of it, can't we? Anyway, let's zoom back in. Ultras in the front. Are the Reavers gone? Oh, no, the Reavers are gone. The Ultras are going to do so well here. Archons, again, do pretty darn good against everything the Zerg has, but not quite enough. Archons down, and that's your good game. Good game from Nony. Jaeyung tosses out the good game. Well played. And he sticks around to clean up the Protoss army. He beats Nony in a 38-minute game. Good for him. Good for the Jaeyung. Is he still... He's still... Look at this Ultra, man. He has no shame. These probes can't even defend themselves. Not that being able to defend themselves makes any sense against an Ultra, but... Boy, look at this. Look at this final image of this game. An Ultra bearing down upon you with curved scythes of death on either side. That is not a good thing. They've got hooves. Look, this Ultra has a hooves. Huh. All right, well, let's go and check out the end screen. Where are we? Whew. This numbers thing doesn't make any sense. All right, produced 1,194 units for Jaeyung, 394 for Nony, killed 900, lost 300. Jaeyung killed 300, lost 900. So we just kind of swapped numbers here. Effectively, APM 292 on average for Jaeyung, 208 for the Nony. Buildings killed, 10 by Nony and 5 by Jaeyung, nothing massive there. And then resources, as usual, tell the story. More gas mined, more minerals mined, and more total spent by a significant margin by Jaeyung. So just he is able to get the base count up, continues streaming units into those big battles that seem to last forever. And Nony was just hard-pressed to defend most of the time. Or when he was on the offensive, Jaeyung just had endless streams of Zerg units to push up and fall into a defensive position. So, hoorah, what a game. Hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed casting it. I like Brood War. It takes me back to my days. But that's going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another StarCraft Brood War Remastered upload. go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.